Right, this whiskey, I feel like I'm in the presence of royalty with this one. This is an absolutely stunning piece of whiskey history. This is a bottle of Clynelish 5-year-old from the 1960s. So in terms of a distillery, there is another distillery called Brora, which is now closed, which used to be known as Clynelish. However, the name switched when another distillery opened, which was also called Clynelish.
But Brora has reopened.
Brora has also reopened to add further complexity to this issue. So this one here, it says Clynelish on the label, but given the age of the bottle and the age of the liquid, we know this is 100% whiskey distilled at Brora, which was closed for a long time, but is now reopened.
Yes.
Whiskey's very, very simple. So let's have a little try of this. In terms of the specs of this bottle, we know it has been 5 years in cask. It was bottled by Ainsley and Heilbronn, who were the owners of Brora / Clynelish Distillery for many, many years. The distillery, Brora, is there a particular style that you say is synonymous with Brora?
Yeah, slightly waxy in character. Highly prized by the blenders for that reason as well.
Yep.
Other than that, light fruity.
All about the wax. I think this will be a really interesting one to try because nowadays so many whiskies are almost dictated by the maturation. So it's a strong sherry influence, red wine influence, whatever. Because the spirit, because the distillate at Brora is so prized, we almost don't really want any cask influence. Obviously, we know it's had 5 years in casks, almost certainly ex-bourbon casks, but I'm hoping the spirit and the character of the distillate will really, really shine through and we get a mouthful of wax. Fingers crossed. Let's open it up and see what's inside.
Great.
Cool, so I'll open this up and give it a little try. Right, very excited for this one. What do we think? Obviously very light colour, as you'd imagine, from ex-bourbon, 5 years old. You're not going to get too much mahogany. On the nose, that's an excited look, Jack.
Yeah, linseed.
Linseed? Is that waxiness coming through or not? Not yet.
Yeah, I think so.
It's almost like a, how do you describe it? Like a naked distillate, which is quite nice.
It's a little bit sawmill character. Resin.
Would you say it? Yeah, it smells like barley, which sounds silly because that's what it's made out of. But
not malty. It doesn't taste. Yeah. It doesn't smell sweet and malty. It tastes more verdant.
Absolutely, but no, it does smell very, very intriguing. Should we go a little try? Cheers.
That's fine.
What do we think? For me, it matches the nose quite well for me.
Yeah, almost perfectly, yeah.
Yeah, there's no surprise flavours, there's nothing coming through stronger than expected or weaker than expected.
There's no youthful notes in it. It doesn't taste too young.
Yes, you do try some whiskies which you know are only 3, 4, 5 years old and they're quite harsh and spirity and acidic or whatever.
Yeah, this is not that.
I think if somebody gave me this blind and said this is a 15-year-old single malt, I'd probably believe them because it is very well rounded, it's very smooth, it's very drinkable. Do you think it's worth several £1,000s? That's
in terms of liquid, probably not.
Yeah. I think for me, a whiskey that's thousands of pounds, I want my life to be changed. I want it to blow my mind.
For the better. Yeah.
For the better. Yeah. This is a very well made, well constructed, very drinkable whiskey.
Yeah.
Perhaps for my palate, I was expecting a earth-shattering moment of enlightenment. It's very nice, it's very good, but there's a lot of very good whiskey you can buy for that sort of price.
I would be very pleased to produce a 5-year-old that was this good.
Yes, yeah. I suppose as
a distiller, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is beautifully crafted. I think it has, obviously the fill level of the bottle was good. I feel confident that it's not deteriorated over the last 50, 60 years. Still feels in remarkable shape. What do we think for the finish? I think for a 5-year-old whiskey, often it can dissipate very quickly and maybe be slightly harsh on the aftertaste.
It's quite dry on the finish. It doesn't linger all that long.
No.
You're right. It is still relatively young.
Absolutely. I think for Brora / Clynelish has been prized by blenders for so many years, and I think this is a great example of why that would be.
Yeah.
Because I think it wouldn't say it's a blank canvas, but sort of you can imagine it bringing together more extreme flavours, more extreme flavour profiles, and balancing it out, helping it harmonise, all this sort of stuff. It's a beautifully, kind of proportioned whiskey, I would say. And as we say, a real piece of history. To try any whiskey from a close distillery is a treat. But something like this from a distillery that's held in the regard that Brora's is something quite special.
Yep.
So a lovely drop, and maybe worth the money, maybe not. Hard to say.
Depends on the individual, I think.
I think so, but I'm having a good time. Nice. All good. But great dram. Lovely stuff.
Yep.